Hi, and welcome back to Dedham Real Estate 411. I'm here with Bob Maloof, and Bob is the owner of Home Inspectors Associates. Is that
Home Inspection Associates.
Home Inspectors Associates.
Well,
and how long have you been doing home inspections, Bob?
well, we've been in the business since 1960, and my father and my uncle started the business, and I've been inspecting over 35 years. And it's a family business. It's my cousin, my son, and myself.
Sure. So you were really pioneers in the home inspection business.
Yeah.
I know when I started selling real estate 15, 16 years ago, you were just one of the handful of people that were doing home inspections. So, and you're also a Dedham guy.
Yeah, I've been living in Dedham for over 30 years now.
30 years,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
And where'd you move from?
Grew up in Boston.
Grew up in Boston. Yeah. Pretty normal trajectory
Exactly,
for most people living in Dedham today.
South End, Rosendale, West Roxbury, Dedham.
There you go. It's like a train ride. So you know, we're going to talk a little bit about home inspections and what a home buyer could expect during a home inspection, and maybe some of the problems that we see. So I mean, I guess one of the things that I'd like to know is, you know, from a seller's perspective, what are some of the reoccurring problems you see at every home that you would like as a home inspector to say, geez, if I just didn't see that walking in the door, this would really be good for me?
Well, I think just a lot of clutter as we walk into the houses sometimes. And basement areas, sometimes we see a lot of indications of moisture. So if they could clean up that basement a little bit just so it doesn't, we'll be able to see if there's been moisture, but just so it looks a little, and the clutter, I think, in the basement is probably the biggest thing.
Get a handle on the source of that water. And I know from being with you guys over the years, what's the #1 reason for water in the basement?
I think gutters and downspouts. I think that's very important. If you keep the gutters clean and lead the downspouts away, that's typically the easiest way to control water in the basement, unless there's other situations.
Yeah, I just, you know, in the home, I spent some time in this week's episode in Hyde Park. They were getting some water in the basement during rainstorms, and that's the first thing I did is I went and I checked the downspouts, and sure enough, where the water was penetrating, there was a downspout pouring right into the corners, right into the ground. So
right in the corners. That's where it is.
I think I owe that one to you for teaching me that. And so, you know, preparing for a home inspection, just the clutter and making it, you know,
easier for us to get around to take a look at everything.
Right.
I mean, a general home inspection, you know, we're looking at the foundation, we're looking at all the systems. So it's easy to, if it's a little easier to get around to inspect the systems, I think it makes it a little better for everybody, and it allows the buyers to be even more comfortable.
Great. And how long typical home inspection should take?
On the average, a couple of hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Good. And so soup to nuts, what, when you're going into a home, what are you looking at?
Structural, mechanical, we start with the foundation, looking for any deficiencies, evidence of settlement, evidence of seepage. We're inspecting the structure. We look for any type of infestation, but we're not in the termite business. But if we see anything, we'll report it, and we'll probably suggest that they get a separate pest inspection. Then we inspect all the systems, plumbing, heating, electrical, tell you what you have, conditions of the systems. And generally we can tell you how to maintain the systems, we teach how the systems operate and how to maintain the system itself. And then we go up into the structure itself, and in our case, we do test the appliances and so forth. I try to test as many outlets as I can as I walk around.
I always find them to be backwards.
Backwards or open ground.
That drives me nuts.
Not unusual.
I don't know.
And the GFIs, we test those GFIs also as we're going through. And you know, we'll test the bathrooms, run the water, flush the toilets, and then we generally go up into the attic area to inspect the insulation, proper insulation, adequate ventilation. That's an important thing also.
That's a area where mold seems to...
Big thing with that, mold, yeah, up in the attics because of the lack of ventilation.
That's a real hot button issue over the last few years.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And then we go outside and we inspect the roofs, gutters, exterior walls, the general grading of the property. And at that point, if they have any questions as we're going through, we like them to come with us.
Yes.
Because it's, to me, a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's one thing to do a report and they're asking questions, but if they're there and you can point it out to them, it's a lot easier to explain something. It's a lot easier to show them how to.
I tend to let my buyers, when I'm working with the buyer client, I tend to say, you just stick with the home inspector. I'm going to go over here, because I find if we all kind of troop around together, we start talking and they start paying attention and asking the right questions.
Yeah, we try to bring them back in and get them
Yeah,
along with us.
try to wrangle them back in. What is say a drop dead issue? If you would walk into a home and there was this problem that you might tell a buyer, hey, you know, you need to run for the hills. Is there anything?
No, I can't really do that. But yeah. I think they can get a sense as to what's going on. And if there's a structural problem, I can report that there's a structural problem, but I also have to report that they should get somebody in there, either a licensed contractor or a structural engineer to come in and inspect it and evaluate what I've come up with.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I can't. At one time we did make that determination, but we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes over the last few years with home inspectors and licensing and et cetera. So I certainly understand that. Same thing on our end. Yeah. So Bob, if someone wanted to get in touch with you for a home inspection, what's the best way to do that?
Well, I think the best way is just to call me. My phone number is 781-329-0360. I do have a couple of websites, and I think the easiest one is probably bobmal46@yahoo.com.
Yeah, that's an email address.
Email address.
bobmal46@yahoo.com.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time and coming in and talking to us and helping potential home buyers and sellers too with things that come up during a home inspection. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the
Appreciate
opportunity.
it. Well, that's it for this month's episode of Dedham Real Estate 411, and I'd like to thank my special guest, Amy O'Brien of Donahue Real Estate. I'd like to thank the Fiore family and also Bob Maloof for spending some time with us and sharing their knowledge, etc. And welcome you back to future episodes where we'll be looking at more homes, answering your questions about real estate and the process of buying and selling a home. If you have a specific question, you could send it to us at info@donahuere.com, and we'd be happy to get back to you and also maybe feature that question on the next show. We'll also, in episodes going forward, be talking to mortgage folks, insurance people, everyone who's involved in the home buying and home selling process, and we'll be bringing that information to you on a monthly basis. Again, thank you and have a nice evening.